Yo 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 yo.
Charlamagne the God.
Peace to the planet. Guess what day it is? Guess what day it is?
Hump Day.
And our guest co-host is back, Miss Claudia Jordan.
What's up, fellas?
See murder.
Walk in the studio. I was a little late. I walk in. It's all sexy with the candle between you two.
I do. I got the candle lit.
That candle's called what? Boys Not Out?
Backyard something, right?
Guys not out.
Guys Not Out.
Oh,
Guys not
Charlamagne
out.
lit that candle.
Guys not
very
out.
sexy in here today.
Hey, you know, we try to do what we
Set
do.
the mood. All
Set
right.
the tone. You know what I mean?
Now, you was out last night?
I went and supported Jess. I went to the show.
How was it?
It was fun. It was
was
good.
fun?
And the spot was cool. And yeah, shout out to Matt, the front. He looked out for us.
Matt, okay. Shout out to Matt in the front.
Yeah, Matt in the front. He looked out.
Before she went, Claudia was like, can I wear my jewelry and everything? I said,
Not to the Bronx.
I said, I wouldn't suggest it.
The craziest people in America come from the Bronx and all of Florida. Beautiful places.
Yes.
Beautiful places, but you just got to be prepared. You got to look alive.
I wore my chain. No one bothered me. It was
Okay,
good. Yeah, it was
good. Yeah, so I wouldn't suggest it. I was going to go, and it was just too hazy. If you're in the New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Connecticut, Boston area, there's wildfires out in
Canada.
I think Toronto, and I guess because of the wildfires, it's blowing the smoke over here. So, I mean, it was disgusting, and you could barely breathe. You could smell the smoke. I know today in some of the schools, they're not letting the kids go outside for recess because they're saying that the smoke is still so strong, which is weird.
The air quality in New York is at hazardous levels, which is why I don't understand why y'all not wearing no mask. I came in here with a mask on this morning. I don't know if the mask prevents anything, but you know.
So that's what it was. Because I was like, my allergies or something's going on. I felt like I was coming down with something. Am I getting sick? But it's allergies.
If you
Yeah.
have any type of respiratory issues like lung disease or heart disease, they say it's terrible for you.
That's right. They say wear a mask.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they say if you're out for a long period of time, 24 hours, which I don't know why anybody would be out 24 hours unless you're unhoused, but 24 hours, they say it's the equivalent of 6 packs of cigarettes.
Jesus.
So being out late and then smoking hookah at the after party, that's probably not a good idea. With the
Absolutely.
No,
combination
it's
of
probably not.
Absolutely.
No, it's probably
we all
not.
power through today regardless.
Jesus. Okay. All right. Well, Tamika Mallory will be joining us this morning.
That's right. Tamika Mallory, activist, author, podcast host.
Yep.
She'll be joining us to talk about a number of things. I mean, she's always out here protesting, marching, fighting for us, always on the front line. So we'll talk to Tamika Mallory.
All right. And then up next, we got front page news. Teslin Figaro will be joining us. A lot to talk about, so don't move. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Charlamagne the God. We are the Breakfast Club. Claudia Jordan is here, our co-host.
Good morning.
And let's get in some front page news. Good morning, Tez.
Good morning, DJ Envy, Claudia Jordan, and Charlamagne the God.
Peace, Teslin.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling very well. Thank you for asking.
All right, let's get right into it. Sports tonight. Game 3 is tonight, 8:30 p.m. Eastern time on ABC. Of course, the Denver Nuggets versus the Miami Heat. Now let's start off with Chris Christie. He's running for White House. He's going to run for president.
Yes, he is. Chris Christie was very clear last night when he said he's running to stop former President Donald Trump. He said, quote, "The reason I am running and going after Trump is twofold. One, he deserves it. And two, it is the way to win." He said, "I'm going after him to take him down," him meaning Donald Trump. But then he insisted that he's not just running to take down Trump, even though he said it repeatedly yesterday in his speech. But he said that Trump needs to be called out, and he needs to be called out by somebody that actually knows him. And he said nobody knows Donald Trump better than him. Let's listen to what he had to say last night at his announcement.
It was a mistake in 2016 not to confront Donald Trump early, because I knew that so much of what he said was complete baloney. Like, I knew it. I'm going to build the greatest, most wonderful wall across the entire Mexico border, and Mexico is going to pay for it. Well, like, I knew, as someone who had governed, that was complete bull. But I was like, people aren't going to believe that. They're not going to believe that. Mistake.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Should you be able to run for president if you look like you don't do any running any other time? Yes, I'm fat shaming.
No, that is the elephant in the room. And his whole speech was about being small. And it was kind of genius because he kept saying Donald Trump small, small, small. And
yeah,
he kind of...
Yeah. That ain't the crazy part. The crazy part, let me ask you, Tess, didn't he ride for Donald Trump when Donald Trump was running for president?
That means
and
nothing.
now all of a sudden you turn...
Yeah.
Now everything that you rode on, and everything that was so okay before, now you go against now?
Yeah, that means
Absolutely. Well, we've seen it a lot, didn't we, Charlamagne? Speaking of people like Michael Cohen, you know, those who were absolutely his biggest supporters, you know, flipped on him. And then again, you know, it says a lot about the integrity and morals to know for him to be able to basically say, I knew it was wrong and I continued on. So integrity matters, morals matter. But on the other side of it, just being objective, it is important that somebody is in the race that will continue to kind of, you know, call out the things that others may not, because most of the Republicans that will be running, at least up till now, they don't want to upset Trump supporters. And so Chris knows that he really has nothing to lose. It's a long shot, so he's kind of there to, you know, keep the pot stirring. So it will definitely be an interesting debate for sure that I'm looking forward to.
Imagine debating Chris Christie and you say you were one of Trump's biggest supporters, literally and figuratively. I just want to know how you're going to get the country in shape if you're not in shape.
Oh my God.
Like, we need to talk about this.
You know, he was Trump's debate coach, so he's definitely gonna be a problem for Trump. He was he got him ready for the debates.
Jesus,
he needs a nutritional coach. But
so stop it now.
I love Chris Christie's debate style, so I'm definitely gonna be interested in seeing it.
Now let's talk about the Florida woman who shot and killed her neighbor. She was finally arrested.
Yes, and you know, good update on this story. Susan Lorange, I believe is how you pronounce her last name, 58, is accused of shooting and killing A.J. Owens, a mother of 4, on June 2nd after Owens went over to her house to confront her about allegations that she threw a rollerblade skate at one of her kids early in the day. Now, she has been booked in the Marion County Jail on charges of manslaughter with a firearm, culpable negligence, battery, and assault. Let's listen to what Sheriff Woods had to say moments after she was arrested.
She has been arrested. She's here on our campus here. She's being there. My detectives are finishing up with some interviews with her at this time. And then once they have concluded, she will be escorted into the county jail. The hard work of my detectives wanted to ensure that we closed all the loopholes so that she would not have a defense of using stand the ground law. And this is not a stand the ground. Okay, let me make that clear. This was not. And it was an unjustified shooting of Miss Owen, and she's arrested for it.
You know, women like that are the reason I will never stop using the term cracker-ass cracker. There are just some racist bigots out here who see black skin and all they think is danger. But what I don't understand is if you're really afraid of something, stay away from it. You allegedly harassed this woman, allegedly hit her child, and then when she comes to see what's up, you shoot her through the door?
Yeah, and just for clarity, there were multiple, about half a dozen 911 calls from 2021 involving, you know, this back and forth dispute. But I want to give on a high note, I want to give a shout out to the entire movement. So last night, and for those that don't know, I'm Attorney Benjamin Crump, Senior Public Policy Advisor, and we've been working on these cases for over a decade. And to get the text from Attorney Natalie Jackson, who was Trayvon Martin's local attorney, to get that from her last night before it hit the news, it really was full circle, because when we work these cases, you know, it takes protests, as you'll see, you know, what Tamika talk about later on today. It takes protests, it takes activism, it takes all of these different things just to get people to move. And although it's a damn shame that, yes, we have to do all of that, I do want to say that people power matters. I want people to understand that just sharing that post, just having that conversation, it speeds up, you know, the process. So we went from 2012 to having to do full, you know, marches and begging and all types of stuff to get attention to Trayvon Martin, to this pretty much at least getting an arrest, you know, within a week, within a few days. And so we can look at this two ways. Yes, it's a damn shame we have to do it. Or two, people really understand that you know, you have power and your voice matters. And so shout out to everybody that just gets the calls at 11 o'clock at night, midnight, 1 in the morning. We've been talking about this for days. And I'm glad to see that the family, you know, has gotten a little bit of relief. But I want people to keep mashing the gas and understand that we have to keep pushing for those convictions. And we have to make sure that the sentencing is fair and continue to push the line.
Ted, I agree with you. People power matters. The police officer said that they weren't able to move on an arrest so fast because they have to investigate. What you thought about that?
Yeah, well, you know, there is such thing as an investigation. So when someone is on their home, like you talked about, stand your ground, this was not a defense for her, but they had to interview the kids. And so they interviewed the kids. They were the witnesses. You know, they got a chance to see, you know, what actually happened. And yes, could it have been faster? If it had been somebody black, would it have been an immediate arrest and ask questions later? Absolutely. They arrest us and they say, tell it to the judge. So we still have a little ways to go. But I don't want to dismiss the fact that when we look at 2012, you know, where it takes weeks and weeks, that this actually did get some type of arrest within a matter of days.
Yeah, he said too that they didn't want to interview the kids the night of. Which I never heard of. I thought they interviewed witnesses, right on the spot. But I guess because it was kids, they
right. Well, he saw his mother get shot. Yeah, one of the kids actually, they were standing there getting his mother get shot. So, without giving too many details of what's going on with the family, but there's a lot to that when you're talking about asking kids what happened immediately after they just saw their mother murdered. So, an investigation needed to happen, but it at least, like I said, it happens a lot. It happened a lot faster than what we see in most cases.
All right. Well, that is front page news. Tez, we'll see you in a little bit.
Absolutely.
Get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, phone lines are wide open. Again, 800-585-1051. Call us up right now. Get it off your chest. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club. This is your time to get it off your chest.
Keep calling.
800-585-1051. We want to hear from you on The Breakfast Club.
Hello, who's this?
Good morning.
I can hear you now. Good morning, Mama. Get it off your chest.
Good morning. This is the bus driver.
Peace, bus driver.
What's up, bus driver? My bus driver from the
Envy, I
Bronx.
want my picture.
Huh?
Envy, I want my picture.
Oh, I'm going to post a picture. That's right. Yeah, I ran into you at the airport. We were heading to Aruba, right?
Right.
How you doing, man? You being safe out there? This is our bus driver from the Bronx.
Yeah, I'm being safe. Just call to say good morning, that's all.
You just called to say good morning. All right, you be
Good
safe
morning
out
to
there.
you.
I see a bus driver got into an incident with somebody yesterday, so be safe out there.
Every day is something different, in the Bronx especially.
In the Bronx. The Bronx.
Well, be safe out there, Mama.
The Bronx is horrible.
Yeah, but then you be the same person screaming BX at a show. BX, BX, BX.
No, I don't. I be trying to duck. When they say BX, I be ducking. They say Brooklyn, I be like, yes.
Hello, who's this?
Good morning, it's Cam. How you doing, Amy? How you doing?
Morning, Cam.
Charlotte, how you doing, Claudia?
Peace, King. How you doing, brother?
Get it off your chest, brother.
All right, so I work for this company out in Jersey, and basically, Claudia, I was wondering if you could pass your plug. I already DM'd you, but the owner of the company has been saying mad racist things to me. I brought it to HR. He said things in front of everybody. The first thing he said to me was he called me a boy, and he's an old white man. I took it to HR, and then the next thing he said was, if you have a problem with what I said, you can take this off the company grounds and settle it.
Oh.
And then most recently, because I recorded this with my Apple Watch. So most recently, he found out I recorded it, and then he had yelled at me saying like, "Oh, you called me a." This was 20 years ago. I would have capped you in the head. And 20 years ago was only like 2003. And then he said this in front of HR, and HR still hasn't done nothing about it. So I believe I have like at least huge discrimination lawsuit against this company. I was wondering if you could help, Claudia.
I can. My lawyer in Texas was David Henderson. Well, can I give the name out?
Yeah.
His name is David Henderson, and then I also have another lawyer named Chris Brown. His name is Chris Brown, and he's out of Boston. He's a beast, and they both hardly ever lose. If you send me a DM, you send me a DM on Twitter, Instagram, right?
Yeah, I sent you a DM on Instagram.
If you want to email me?
I'm driving, so I can't take the email. I drive stick, so one hand's on the stick, one hand's on the wheel.
Just leave a comment on my last picture and say check your DMs, and I'll send you his number. Because if you have evidence like that, you've been keeping notes and dates.
Yeah, I have the audio recordings of both.
That's half the battle right there.
Easy cash out.
Yeah, just hit her DM, and then she'll get you all the information, brother.
I got you.
All right.
If you screaming racism and a white man calls you the N-word, it's your job. Right?
Then you got it on tape?
That's a pretty open and shut
On
case.
tape?
Absolutely.
That's a lawyer's dream right there.
Get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, hit us up now. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Ray!
Yo, Charlamagne, Envy, what up? Are we live?
This is your time to get it off your chest.
I got an indoor pool, an outdoor pool.
We want to hear from you on The Breakfast Club.
We can get on the phone right now. He'll tell you what it is.
We live?
Hello, who's this?
Hey, this is Natasha.
Hey, Natasha.
I'm from North Carolina.
From North Carolina.
I got
Good
a
morning.
question for you.
Yes, ma'am.
Why you haven't rushed your car show to North Carolina?
You know what? We were supposed to actually bring it to North Carolina this year. But
I
maybe
thought you said
next
South
year.
Carolina.
Yeah, we were going to do it. Now, it's going to do North or South. We were going to actually do it with North, and we had the babies' cars. It was going to be dope. But, actually what happened is the date we were going to do it, PRE, which is Dolph's company, reached out and wanted to do something special for Dolph, so we did it in Memphis. But we're definitely gonna hit up either South or North Carolina. I would love to. I mean, it's such a call culture. I think it would be great for the city. So we're working on it, Mama.
Oh, can I give my friends a couple of shout outs real quick? I want to give my friend Quisha a shout out. Thank you for sending me positive vibes every morning. I love you, girl. And hey, Charlamagne, if y'all got a guest birthday?
Claudia Jordan's here.
Jordan.
Hey.
Oh, hey, Claudia.
How are you?
Good.
Well, you have a good morning,
Well,
Mama.
all right, y'all.
Bye.
Right. And my next call show was actually Father's Day weekend in Houston, H-Town. So if you're around the H-Town area, you want to get something special for your dad or your pops, your grandpops, your baby daddy, come on out and join me. Of course, kids 5 and under are free. So bring the whole family. Hello, who's this?
Yo, what's going on, y'all? This is your boy Tyler, a.k.a. Dingo.
Hey, Tyler.
Dingo, what up, brother?
Get it off your chest. You want to shoot your shot at Claudia, brother?
I do.
Oh, you do?
First off. Gentlemen, I sent y'all a package. I want to know if y'all got it.
I saw 2 things in there this morning. I got to check and see if that's from you.
Okay, hopefully. All right, this is just for Envy, so hopefully y'all got that package.
Okay, I'll check.
Claudia.
Hey, good
How
morning.
you doing, Mama?
I'm good. You good?
I'm real good, actually.
Are you really? Okay. How good are you? Where you at?
I'm in Chicago, so you go come out here.
Why do people think it's that easy? Can you send me some flowers first?
I mean,
damn.
Just get on a plane. Come to Chicago.
Just get on a plane. Come on to Chicago.
You desperate? Come see me. I'm a stranger on the radio. You don't know what I look like. Just come see me.
I can come see you now. I'll be in New York in like 2 weeks, but I don't know if you're going to be there. But
I mean,
what I'm trying to figure out is I'm a 31-year-old man. Are you
oh,
okay with that? If I'm a nice young buck, I can keep up. My finances all right. I'm ready in the bed. You feel me? So what's up?
you just want to me.
No, I want to build with you. I want to build with you. I want to be on the side too. You know what I'm saying? I want to get in, but I want to build with you.
He want to build with you.
What you want to build with me?
That's right. My life, girl, because you out here talking about you complaining about 10 o'clock booty calls. You ain't got to worry about that with me.
Okay.
I'll
Fellas.
keep you up all night. Come on
Again,
now.
he just wants to
Jesus Christ.
I mean, that's, you said it yourself. A woman your age needs that. I'm provide security.
I'm wondering.
You know, being here.
That teddy bear that you need.
I'm getting, my mental health is being affected being here.
That's what I'm saying. I'm wondering what is he hoping to get out of this call? Like, what are you hoping? What are you hoping? How this call is?
It's not going well. It's not going well.
Do I give
not
off
going well?
like?
Okay.
Do I give
How
off
about
the
this?
sex vibes? I don't think I do.
I don't think you give off sex
vibes. Claudia.
Huh?
And then I'm gonna come up there and take you out. How about that?
I mean, thank you. We had to harass you for that, though.
She had to ask you for flowers, though. Tyler,
I think it's because of your direct approach. People think they can be direct with you.
But I'm still like, I'm a hopeless romantic, though. I went and looked at the comments on YouTube, and it was like, they say my age. What do you expect? Be happy someone's even asking your old ass. I'm like, God damn. Like, throw the whole woman away after 35.
Damn.
I still look young, right?
You look good. You look
yes, you do.
You look seasoned. No, that's a good term. Like, I don't like when people say you look young, because when you say you
She
look...
said I still look good. She didn't say
No, she said young.
Oh.
So
Nobody wants to hear they look seasoned. I'm just letting you know right now.
Well, here's the thing. We put value on everything that has age except for ourselves. Cognac, cheese,
wine,
cars, wine. But when it comes to ourselves, like, do I look young? No, you look like a grown-ass, beautiful woman. You do. You probably look better now than you did back then.
A little bit.
There you go.
Thank you.
Get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, you can hit us up. Now we got rumors on the way.
Pete Davidson went hard against PETA. You don't want to miss what he said to them.
Okay, we'll get into that next. So don't move. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. Our guest co-host Claudia Jordan is here.
Hey.
See murder.
And let's get to the rumors.
Just because I'm being quiet don't mean that I don't have that fire up inside of me to get you all the way together.
This is the Rumor Report.
One thing that I'm not is a liar.
They say it's truth in the rumors hooking.
And people know what happened. People know the truth.
Give it to you.
All right, guys. Pete Davidson leaves a voicemail for PETA, and he has gotten smoke. He got beef with PETA right now. It's all about a dog. His mom's dog died, and he was trying to replace the dog, and it went left, and he decided to leave a voicemail for PETA after they came for him. This is what he had to say.
Hi, my name's Pete Davis. Is for Daphne, the Thank you so much for making publicly that I didn't adopt a dog. I just want to let you know I'm severely allergic to dogs. I have to get a specific breed. I'm only not allergic to Cavapoos. And my mom's dog, who was 2 years old, died a week prior, and so I had to get a specific dog. So why don't you do your research before you create news stories for people, because you're a boring, tired and suck my dick.
End this message.
Dropping the food bomb for Pete Davidson.
I love it, man. I love it.
So basically, he was trying to replace a dog to make his family happy. He was spotted out buying a dog.
Correct.
So PETA came for him for not adopting and, rescuing a dog.
Yeah, but he's allergic to dogs, and there's only one type of dog that he's not allergic to. So if he can't find that dog and he wants to purchase a dog, that's his right to purchase a dog.
But PETA came out and said that you can research their available stock.
He didn't want to. He wanted to buy a dog.
And he said there's no such thing as a hypoallergenic dog. I don't know about that. But he said all he was trying to do was make his family happy. He hasn't seen his mom and sister cry as hard as they did as when the mom's dog died. He was just trying to cheer them up. And then he got beef with PETA from going out and finding a dog elsewhere.
PETA got to stop.
The beauty of it is, man, can we just, take a moment to recognize that PETA told PETA to suck his PETA. God, that is amazing.
Y'all ain't gonna never make it out the hood.
Amazing.
Y'all gonna die broke.
That was classic.
PETA is a little gangster, though. For an organization that protects animals,
yeah,
they're really aggressive.
But I get some of it. Like, I get when they go at people for being cruelty to animals and people that use animals for furs. If they want to go at that, that's fine. But the brother just bought a dog because his dog died.
Listen, telling somebody from PETA to suck your meat is wild disrespectful, considering they don't consume any animal products. Dropping the clues bombs with Pete Davidson. Okay, salute to his mom, Amy. My peoples. I love my peoples.
All right, Cuba Gooding Jr., he dodged a bullet. He avoids trial by settling the rape lawsuit. If you were listening on Monday, you heard me report that Cuba Gooding Jr. was headed to trial this week, and things weren't looking too good for him because the judge was allowing 3 women to testify in favor of the plaintiff. Now, the woman claimed Cuba Gooding Jr. raped her over a decade ago. Cuba insisted it was consensual, and allegedly that the woman even bragged about having sex with a celebrity. The victim was seeking $6 million. Cuba realized that if he went to trial, he probably was going to jail. So I think he took matters into his own hands.
I think it was a civil suit, though.
It was a civil. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, sorry. That's in the notes.
Oh.
Okay. So just minutes before the jurors were called to assemble in the courtroom, the calendar entry read trial off. So right at the last minute, the 11th hour, it was like reason for cancellation. They resolved the matter, and the amount has not been
I'm sure they
disclosed.
agreed on a number, and it all went away.
Yeah, even if it's civil, it's still a bad look because no matter what, people are still going to be like, yeah, but Cuba Gooding Jr. Like, you can't really get that stank off you once you get those accusations. It's so hard. And we were talking about that earlier in the week, Charlamagne, about how, once people put it out there, no one reads this is what happened, or the result.
Details,
they don't read the details.
No.
Nobody cares about the truth and the lies more than anything.
Correct.
All you got to do is put that headline out and it's a wrap, usually. All right, Jula is suing Nicki Minaj. It was reported that Nicki's stylist, Brett Allen Nelson, signed a contract with Rose Arc Jewelry Store. Now, the contract stated that the jewelers would loan Nicki several pieces of jewelry for an appearance as long as it was returned by a certain deadline. Now, the lawsuit, the jewelers claim Nicki's stylist did not return 66 pieces of jewelry by the deadline, and when the jewelry was finally returned, 2 of the pieces were damaged. They alleged they sent her team multiple invoices, which totaled $26,239 plus interest, and they said it was never paid. Now, Nicki's attorney, Jordan Sieve, made a statement to TMZ, said the lawsuit appears to be nothing more than an ordinary insurance claim by the jeweler, designed to generate publicity for itself and get a payment which it is not entitled to. We will defend the lawsuit vigorously. And Nicki's team insists the jewelry was returned by the agreed date, so they're saying it's a matter of clout. And the jewelry company says, nah, it was damaged.
Now, wasn't there a time where, like, if a jeweler gave you some jewelry and you, like, shouted them out in a record or something like that, they would just let you keep it?
Yeah.
Long time ago, but jewelry's
yeah.
more expensive now. So a lot of times, a lot of artists, when they go to like the BET Awards, award show, they use jewelry like every other person because they don't want to wear it again. So
Gotcha.
they get these necklaces. But for somebody to mess up something $26,000, she would have had to crip walk on that. Like, let's be honest. Like, there's no way in hell that she's gonna ruin jewelry $26,000. Like, they would have to miss in stones. Like, she would have to throw it off the roof. Like, that seems excessive.
Not saying Nicki would do that. Not saying Nicki would do that.
Not at all.
There's a lot of rappers out there that would crip walk on jewelry. For real, just to show that money ain't a thing.
And when you don't pay for something, though, you don't really treat it the same. Mm-hmm. You would think you would, but you don't.
I think a lot of times you do because it has to go back. It's like you have to go back, and there's certain parameters that you have to follow. Just $26,000 seems excessive for some jewelry to be ruined and messed up.
I personally treat it better because I'm the type of person, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care about stuff like jewelry and clothes. So if, like, say I get clothes, Envy knows this. If I get clothes and we got to make an appearance, I don't take no tags off, no nothing. Okay, I don't get no stains on it, no nothing, because it's going back.
It's going back.
I promise you, it's going back. If you see me with anything expensive on, you already know it's going back. I be having stuff on that I don't know is expensive, and then somebody will be like, "Oh, that's such and such," and I'm like, "I don't care. It's going back tomorrow."
That's right.
Going back tomorrow.
Sorry, Ty. Love you, Ty.
The problem is, it's middle people here.
Ty, what's up?
There's stylists, there's middle people involved, and a lot of times the stars gonna get the smoke.
Of course.
The chain of command, there's probably other people that touch that stuff.
That is true.
You don't really know exactly who damaged it.
I wasn't even supposed to be doing that no more. I shouldn't say things like that. Ty don't like when I do that because it makes it
hot for her.
Makes it hot for her. Yeah.
Okay. Difficult for her. Say sorry.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
It's all right. It's too late.
Just don't say it's for me when you go to get stuff.
It's too late now.
It's going back.
Good job, Charlamagne.
Yes.
Way to go.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, that is your rumor report. Now, when we come back, we got front page news. Teslin Figueroa will be joining us. And, of course, Tamika Mallory will be joining us next hour. So don't move. It's The Breakfast Club on BET.
The Breakfast Club. Your mornings will never be the same.
If you had the power to go back in time and change something, would you? In the new movie The Flash, worlds collide in an epic adventure that brings us two Batmans, General Zod, and a badass Supergirl. Get tickets now for the new Flash, only in theaters June 16th, rated PG-13. Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. All right, now let's get in some front page news. Claudia Jordan, our co-host, is here. We got Teslin Figueroa on the line. Good morning, Tez.
Good morning, DJ Envy, Claudia, and Charlamagne the God.
Yo.
Let's get right into it. Now, tonight, NBA Game 3, Denver Nuggets, Miami Heat. The game starts at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time.
It's anybody's ball game.
Yeah.
That's the way I'm looking at it now. It's in Miami. I still got Denver winning the series, but it's very hard to sleep on Miami.
That's right. Now, let's get right into it. Now, what happened out in Virginia during the graduation? I seen a bunch of people got shot. Somebody died.
Yeah, unfortunately, yet another mass shooting that has become too regular here in America. And this story is still developing. So, guys, make sure those who are listening continue to watch this throughout the day. But here's what we know so far. Gunmen opened fire as hundreds of people stood outside a high school graduation ceremony Tuesday evening in Richmond, Virginia, killing 2 people and wounding 5 others. Let's listen to what Virginia Police Chief Rick Edwards had to say. We'll talk about it on the other side.
At this point, in consultation with the Richmond Commonwealth's Attorney's Office, we plan on seeking charges for second-degree murder ×2 for that individual, with more potential charges to follow. It's disgusting and cowardly behavior because even if you're discharging a firearm at a person you're trying to hit, when you have a crowd like this, innocent people are going to be caught up in the mayhem, and that's what happened today.
Could you imagine going to a graduation, the last time you're going to be at that high school, you're moving on to college or the next stage in your life, and somebody comes and starts shooting up the graduation?
I saw a video of a lady there, and she was like in tears talking about how this black kid graduated and then died on the same day. It was so sad. It was so sad.
Yeah, there's nothing we can say, ask about this latest mass shooting that we haven't said or asked about every other mass shooting in this country. The only thing that changes is the location, but it just shows you there's no place safe. Like, there's no place you can go. Grocery store, graduations, the mall, church, the mosque, like there's synagogue, like there's no place you can go that's safe.
So do we just stay inside?
I mean,
and as of yet, you heard the police chief say that individual. I was trying to see if they have identified the person. It looks like they have not as of yet. So they detained 2 people, but later said one was not involved. It's a little bit confusing. The other, a 19-year-old investigators say may have known one of the victims and had 4 handguns. So there's a lot still developing with the story. And we'll just keep watching to see who this person was, and obviously did they leave any type of evidence on why this happened the way that it is. So unfortunate to turn that memory into something so terrible.
All right, well, Again, condolences to that man's family and that student's family, and also, rest in peace. Now, what's going on with these dogs? Dogs are attacking more than 5,300 mail carriers?
Yeah, shout out to I believe we have a mail carrier that calls in every now and then on the Breakfast Club, and I thought about this person and I said, I wonder, do people know that the Postal Service actually has an annual National Dog Bite Awareness Week? This is the Dog Bite Awareness Week, and so they have listed out on NPR, this was actually national news yesterday, public service campaign to raise awareness on attacks on mail carriers. In 2022, dogs attacked more than 5,300 employees who were delivering the mail. They said that when mail carriers are bitten, it is usually the good dog, the alleged good dog, that did not have previous menacing behavior. So they're asking people to put your dog on a fence, keep it behind the fence, put it on a leash, and they said try not to send children to get the mail because the dog believes that the child may be attacked. And so I thought it was just a real interesting story to talk about the top 10 cities. I'll just give a couple who have the most dog bites: California, Texas, New York, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Illinois, Florida, Michigan, and Missouri. So those particular states, and North Carolina, you need to put your dogs up to stop biting our mail carriers.
And if your dog does bite somebody, if they do it, if it's vicious or your dog does it more than once, they can put your dog to sleep. The sad part about it is, being a dog owner, the dog is only being a dog. He's only protecting that house. And it's sad sometimes because it happens, and it's a very sad situation. But you also feel for the mail carriers because they're just trying to do their job, but the dog is just trying to do their job. So it makes things difficult. So salute to all the mail carriers out there and all the dog owners out there. You just gotta be extra careful with your dogs.
When you say mail carriers, does that include Amazon and UPS and everybody else?
Well, this particular story is literally coming from the Postal Service, right? So this is actually the United States Postal Service that they do this annual, awareness week. But I'm sure, it affects everybody. But this is actually the USPS.
There's probably a whole lot more when you bring in the Amazon.
Absolutely.
Like, imagine how many.
Yes.
Yeah, either that or I hate the victim blame, but what is the postal workers wearing that, that's causing the dogs to want to bite them all the damn time?
I think you're victim blaming.
They ain't biting the UPS people in the brown. They ain't biting the Amazon workers, whatever color they wear. Is it the color that
I think that's victim blaming, Charlamagne.
I know I am, but what is it about the postal workers that makes the dogs want to bite them, but not everybody else that's delivering packages?
Well, maybe because the postal worker comes every day, and unless nobody gets my house, sometimes we do get an Amazon package every day, but postal service come every day, and UPS don't come every day. Still. Amazon usually don't come every day.
So it's a numbers game.
So it's a numbers game. Yeah, you're more likely to get bitten if you come every day. Pause.
I need to talk to some UPS workers or some Amazon drivers. I need to know if they're getting bit just as much as the postal workers. If not, we need to have a conversation with the postal workers. Okay,
what's wrong with you?
You might need to change your attire when you show up to these.
High black socks. You know what I mean? All right. Well, thank you, Ted, so much.
Charlamagne, leave it to Charlamagne. He always go down another road, another rabbit hole.
All right. Well, that's Front Page News. We'll see you tomorrow.
And listen, make sure you subscribe to Tesla Figaro's podcast, the Straight Shot No Chaser podcast on the Black Effect iHeartRadio podcast network. She breaks down all of these stories that you hear in Front Page News. She breaks them down in depth. And go to follow Tez on Instagram at Tesla Figaro.
All right. Yep. Now, when we come back, Tamika Mallory will be joining us. We're going to kick it with Tamika Mallory. She's always on the front line for us, so we're going to see what's going on. So don't move. It's The Breakfast Club on BET.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. Our guest co-host, Claudia Jordan, is here.
Yes, indeed.
And we got a special guest in the building, Miss Tamika Mallory. Welcome back.
Hey.
How
Thanks
you feeling?
for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Queen Mallory. You got a lot of work that you're doing right now. You got to get the word out about some things.
There's a lot happening. I think, the overall thing that we need to know is that our country is in big trouble, and everybody is going to suffer as a result. But whenever we're in trouble, black folks, brown people, we suffer the most. And
you tried to tell them we're in a state of emergency. You see, you got your book sitting right here.
It is a state of emergency indeed, and it's getting worse. I mean, you and I talk about this all the time. To me, it feels like it's getting worse. I think also because a lot of people are so numb. They don't really want to focus anymore, and that's dangerous because there's just too many things to do, too much to know about, and we just need to be well informed about what we're up against. And I think that, being able to call it what it is, that white supremacy and white vigilantism is on a rise. And of course, we're dealing with issues within our own community with mental health problems and poverty causing violence. There is it's a tension and a feeling in the country that I'm sure you all feel, and it's really dangerous. It's not a comfortable space, and I don't think it gets better just by us ignoring the problems.
How do you think we get around this fatigue? Because I do notice there was a fatigue, right? It seemed like we were all hands on deck, maybe 2020 in the height of all the George Floyd protests and all that. Everybody seemed like, all right, we on this. And it seemed like everyone just kind of fell off. Not everyone. People like you, thank God for you. But it seemed like there's a lot of fatigue right now. Like people just, I'm tired of hearing about it. And that's dangerous.
People also, first of all, movements always are up and down. They never stay consistent at one pace. It's impossible. People have to get back to their lives. Folks have families and things that they have to do. So that's normal. But there is a fatigue that unfortunately I think doesn't change until people feel so uncomfortable that they have no choice but to get back in the game. And we try to continuously sound the alarm by making sure folks feel like there's a way for them to fit in and get in. But it's not until you start feeling it on your block in your home that it's like, oh, wait a minute, where's the protest, or who am I supposed to be voting for? What am I supposed to do to jump in the fight?
So let's start. A lot of people, they don't necessarily run because a lot of people don't know what's going on. Like we get bombarded with so much in the news, and half the time we don't know what's real or what's fake, what's true, what's false. So what should we be focusing on now? What are you focusing on?
Well, I wrote these things down so that, we could kind of break things into different parts. Okay. In the summer 2020, since you brought that up, a lot of corporations were talking about their commitment to diversity. That was a whole thing. In fact, corporations made pledges for millions and millions, probably billions of dollars. And certainly we've not seen that in the movement and across all spectrums of areas where marginalized communities need support. Most companies have either gone away, they what do you call it, out of sight, out of mind.
Correct, yeah.
And then some did a few things, and of course we can't ignore that the recent news on Black Lives Matter has certainly helped people find a way to say, oh, well, maybe I shouldn't be given to those causes, which, we talk all the time about how I call bullshit on a lot of it. Nonetheless, it has been an issue. It is an issue. And so one thing I have been focused on is calling corporations back to the table. And I've been working specifically on a company called Panini. And people are like, how did you get in sports and trading cards, sports memorabilia and trading cards? Like, where did that come from? But I often remind people that every case we get involved with, we find out from the people. People call us. They call us to say there's a police brutality incident. They say something happened in the jail. That's how we got in Parchment prisons. Which shout out to our family at Rock Nation and Team Rock, because we work to really make change in Parchment. And I'm sure people in Parchment are probably like, what change? It's still slow coming, but we did work with the local community in Mississippi to make some change there. But this all comes from people calling us, elected officials, concerned citizens, scary folks that's like, don't tell nobody it's mine, that I called. But somebody hit me up and was like, hey, you should check out what's going on at this company, Panini. They have 75% of their trading cards and their talent, if you will, Black athletes, black and brown, but primarily Black athletes. A $3 billion company with no senior executives that are Black people. Not even one. So when we found it out, we were like, okay, well, first of all, maybe we don't know. Maybe they just didn't put them on the website. We gonna see. And we sent a letter to Panini. It took them a while to get back to us until it started to pick up in the media, especially after we sent letters to the NFL and the NBA and the Players Associations and all the others asking, why are you partnering with these folks or allowing them to use your talent? It's basically our people being exploited.
Why this specific company, though? Because there's a bunch of billion-dollar companies that don't have Black people in the C-suite. So why this specific company?
Well, we've had similar conversations over the years with Walmart, with Verizon. And in fact, with Verizon, we went to them around Colin Kaepernick. To ask them why would they continue to sponsor and be partners with the NFL, knowing what was happening to Colin. So we find reasons to approach corporations all the time about their commitments or their said commitments to our communities. And from my perspective, black folks in this moment, they need jobs. Like, they need jobs, they need opportunities, they need a seat at the table, right? And, you know, some people say, well, entrepreneurship. Yeah, but while you're building, because all of us here are entrepreneurs, but we got jobs too.
Does Panini feel that since they're giving so much money away to students and especially college athletes, I know they do a lot with NIL deals, that because they're doing that, they necessarily don't have to because they feel like we're giving the community money?
Well, they didn't say that, but from our perspective, no. Like, at Until Freedom, our perspective is regardless of how much you give away, you're just doing what you're supposed to do.
So what kind of action plans would you like to see Panini do to correct this like lack of diversity? What would you like to see?
Yeah, so first of all, they need to have an advisory committee of individuals from our communities that can help them look at the diversity issues.
It's actually been amazing, the dip in what we see. Like, I really felt like there was actually some type of effort being made. Seems like they're not even giving a damn anymore what it looks like publicly anymore.
Well, just on that point, when we did the research to find at every company, we sent letters, and by companies I'm talking about the leagues and the players associations, we sent letters to the CEO. We also went to look for the diversity person, right? Because most companies have somebody. And we found that most of those people were hired in 2020. Like, all the different leagues, their diversity person came on board around 2020 and was well celebrated by the company. So that just goes to show you that movements work. That's first of all, that, you know, for those people who think movements don't work, it actually provided opportunities for some of our people. And I'm sure, depending on who the black person is in that seat, there's more happening within the community. But there's so much more that can be done. And that means that the movement can't stop because the job is not complete.
Are they getting the to actually be able to work, or is it one of those things where we're hiring them just for the face, but they're not actually being able to contribute?
Well, you know what? I don't know. And I'm sure there's a little bit of all of that happening, you know, because I know several diversity folks in different companies, and some of them are frustrated. Others feel like they're really being supported. So I think it's a mixture of that, but we don't know until, unfortunately, issues start to come up and you start asking questions. That's the reason why we have to have different examples. So Panini becomes an example which says to other companies they might be coming my way. Let me try to get my stuff together.
All right, we got more with Tamika Mallory. When we come back, don't move. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We got our co-host Claudia Jordan here, and we're kicking it with Tamika Mallory. Claudia,
you're on the front lines. Do you ever get discouraged?
Hell yeah.
And do you ever feel like, what am I doing?
I get more than discouraged. Yeah. I get pretty nasty about it. I send text messages in the middle of the night, like saying words, bad words.
So where's your motivation come from on those days when, you know, we see the wins, right?
Yeah.
But there's the days where you probably
I don't know about the wins.
Well,
wins I'm not
progress.
Yeah, progress. A little bit of progress. A little bit of progress. Because wins, I don't feel like I'm there yet, you know. And you know, whatever. Some people would argue that we should be careful not to appreciate the things we've been able to accomplish, in which we have many things. But I think I always say that my investment in this movement is very selfish. It's not like, oh, I'm doing it because of the other children and the other people. It's my own family, like me. You know, I want to be able to drive and feel comfortable and walk around in society and not be treated differently or othered. I want my son to be protected. And now I have a grandchild, you know, and here this is a young girl, a baby who's going to grow up in this society. What is it going to look like? I don't want to leave here with people saying like, well, what did you do to contribute? And I'm over here pointing at, oh, well, they did. Right. No, we have a responsibility. And I think that's where when I get up, and some days, Claudia, it's turned into a situation where I go to bed like, I promise you I will not do else for these people because of all the stress that I go through, the attacks, the lies, the this and that. I'd be like, that's it. And then I'd be like, which people? Our people? Like in the morning when I wake up, I'm like, let me go to work because this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Calling on your life is something.
Talk to us about Ajika Owens.
Boy, I tell you what. I was on a conference call last night with Angela Rye and Amanda Seals and Alicia Garza, Ben Crump, everybody, Jeff Johnson. The names go on and on. All the people. Christy Henderson was the coordinator of it. And first of all, the brilliance in this movement. Oh, wow. To be on that call, I just wish it could be taped so everybody could see the thoughts and the people working together to try to help get justice for this woman's family. What happened to her it seems to be very clear. At least it's clear to me. And, Crump, before he gets in, Attorney Crump, before he gets involved in things, he kind of knows what happened for the most part. So it appears that the neighbor was a menace already. Like, she had been harassing.
This is the story you gave the lady Donkey today too, right?
Yes.
No. We just talked about Tez.
We talked about it this morning with Tez.
Yeah, talked about this morning.
Yeah.
Okay,
So it seems that she had already been harassing the children and people in the community. And this particular day, the kids were playing next door, which you guys probably already discussed. But the kids were playing next door in a field. And she thinks she owns the field. So she's neighborhood Karen. She thinks she owns the field. She tells them when to come and go. The iPad was still in the field when the young man noticed it. All the kids were inside. He noticed his iPad was there. He ran out to go get it. She already had it. Somewhere along the line, he approached her to get the iPad, and she hit him with something. And called him the N-word.
What ages were the kids? Do you know?
Well, this young man, the young boy is 9. And AJ, as they affectionately call her, AJ Owens, she has 4 children, and so I think the youngest one is 2.
Okay.
So he went and got Mama, and Mama came back to talk to the woman, get the iPad, probably ask, why did you hit my child, all of that. And the woman shot her through the door. And killed her. I mean, period. And to add insult to injury, which is very similar to what happened to Jordan Neely, or at least what happened to Daniel Perry, the man who killed Jordan Neely, is this thing where you can just go down to the precinct, they ask you a few questions, and then you just white, and they say, okay, you can go home after you've killed somebody.
Right.
It is amazing that it's like, do you mind coming in and talking to us?
Yeah, we just want to ask
maybe
you for formality.
And let you go home.
And then
don't release her name.
Well, yeah, they didn't release her name, but we know what it is. Her name is Susan Lawrence.
Thank you.
I believe that's her name, Susan Lawrence. And, again, people in the neighborhood know her. But let me just say, on the issue of people getting to go home.
Did she call 911 at all? So she didn't call 911 until after she shot.
I don't know. That's a good question.
Because, usually it's self-defense, and if the door was closed,
if the door is closed,
there was no way that she felt like her life was in danger.
I mean, you gotta, come on.
And she'll try to use stand your ground, of course.
It's a lot of things that I think they're going to try to use. I think they're going to have a mental illness thing. They're going to try a lot of things.
So
but
white
stand
people are
your
the only
ground.
people that are allowed to be mentally ill? Because with us, we don't get that grace.
No, we don't. But let me say that one of the things I want to make sure we mention is that this is not a new issue or a new concern. If you think about Emmett Till and other cases of the past, there was a time when white people could literally decide that you made them feel uncomfortable, or you committed some criminal act. They didn't have to be in law enforcement. They could decide your punishment, kill you, whatever they want to do, and there was no consequences for it. So we're going backwards to a time when that is now a thing again, that you just go on downtown and tell Billy Bob, Officer Billy Bob, everything was cool. I just shot me a nigga today. That's it. And of course, I hope we understand, not to say that it's okay when it happens to men, because we fight for black men all the time. Our entire movement has been focused on black men. But now they're killing black women, which brings us to Breonna Taylor. Shout out to Breonna Taylor and her family. Look, happy birthday. She would have been 30 years old, man. 30 years old. A young, beautiful life taken. Her boyfriend, Kenny Walker, thankfully the charges that the officer had against him have been dropped. So he's now free and clear to live his life. But yesterday, I don't know when this is,
that's the case with Stand Your Ground worked for a black person, right?
Yeah. What?
In Kenny Walker case?
Oh, yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Well, yes. Kinda. Yes. And yes. Yes.
They charged him at first, but then they eventually
charged him, but they dropped it. They never admitted it. That's the point.
Gotcha.
Nobody ever said that he had the right to do what he did or whatever, but he did, right? And I think that they dropped the charges for a different reason, which is because they don't want to have to go to court and lay out the details.
Gotcha.
They're trying to push it, sweep it under the rug.
Gotcha.
It would make them have to do too much. So, but anyway, so the Attorney General in Kentucky, y'all talked about this
Daniel
before.
Cameron.
His name is Daniel Cameron. This man was responsible for the prosecution of the officers. He was responsible for finding justice, right, as the Attorney General, because the local government decided that they didn't want to try the case. It was too close with the police department and the local DAs and whatever. So they pushed it to the Attorney General. First of all, Daniel Cameron is a cop lover. He has videos out there talking about how he will defend police and law enforcement until the end. And he will do whatever is necessary to stand with police. So he had the case and had a grand jury impaneled, which they went and they presented a case to the grand jury. Of course, and which is what we fight against, the grand jury proceedings being secret. That's a problem because you don't know what's happening. You don't know what they're presenting, what the witnesses, what's going to happen. So the grand jury comes back and returns their decision, which is to charge one officer with shooting through the wall, and that could have hurt the people on the other side. It didn't, but it could have. And so that charge was called wanton endangerment, and that's what the person was indicted on. They never came back with any charges about Breonna Taylor being murdered. We're about to knock on doors until November. We're going to put ads up on TV. We're going to make sure that everybody, Lottie-Dottie and everybody knows about Daniel Cameron and what he did to Breonna Taylor.
All right, when we come back, we have more with Tamika Mallory. Don't move. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. It's DJ MD, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We got our co-host Claudia Jordan here, and we're kicking it with Tamika Mallory. Charlamagne?
How do you protect yourself in situations like that? Go post up in Kentucky and go against this guy who's got a massive support in Kentucky. How do you protect yourself?
Well, first of all, we have security 24 hours a day, which is important. But, security is not necessarily able to stop some crazy person from driving a car through the window of your office or whatever. So
are y'all being set up? You know what I mean? That's stuff like that.
But before we even get to the point of physical harm, just watch. You're gonna be like, you gotta come back and talk about this. They're gonna have articles out in a minute about everything we ever did wrong, who paperwork ain't right, what organization did this, which is why I don't like to get into a back and forth about whether or not somebody bought a house in BLM. I don't like to get into that because I know what that conversation is all about. And I know who it benefits for us to get stuck in that. They want to discredit our movement so that they can make sure that nobody donates to Tamika Mallory either. We all criminals.
But
we
you're
all
not BLM
frauds.
though.
Of course I'm not. We said that on this show so many times. But you're right. Repetition matters. I'm not in the organization Black Lives Matter. But I'm just saying that I've seen this movie before. This is not the first time. They actually don't do anything new. They repeat the same script over and over again. It's just that there are new players involved, so you think you in something new. But they literally have intentionality right now around discrediting our movement. It doesn't mean you shouldn't ask questions. There should be no accountability. That's not what we're talking about. But when we start going down that rabbit hole, there's a reason why they want us to stay there. And so what will happen is that in the next couple of weeks, especially if Daniel Cameron feels like our movement is a danger to him, you'll start hearing who slept with who, Johnny, shot somebody when he was 12, who went to prison. That's what they're going to do to try to discredit the people locally and nationally who will be there fighting him. But despite it all, we going to be there.
We have to stop eating that up, though. We're so quick to be, I knew it was a scam, and we have to stop being so skeptical of each other. Because I saw that happening in real. I'm like,
but there are scams. There are scams, and guess what? White people run them every day.
That's right. But they don't. I feel like they air their laundry like we do sometimes.
No, you will never see. Like, I give you an example: the women's movement, right? They got all kinds. I know we were in it, right? In the women's march, we were in it.
Y'all started
we was in. We were leaders of the women's march. We know all about the stuff that goes on internally. but you don't know who's about people's salaries. You don't know how much they make in these major women's organizations and other organizations that have, or social cause organizations that have people that don't look like us. You tell me what's their salary. It doesn't come up. You don't know what house they have, where they live, how much money they spent, and if there is an issue, they deal with it internally. When it became public that there was a fight, which wasn't even about money, it was because it was women of color at the helm of it. So we just have to be aware of that. That does not mean that you don't have the right to say, I gave $100, $200,000, whatever it is, and I want to know what is being done with my resources. I'm not telling people not to ask those questions. I'm saying that what we see going on right now is not about asking questions. It is about creating a dissension campaign or whatever against our movement as a whole. And yeah, I'm not in BLM at all. I have nothing to do with the money, never received a dime. In fact, I asked them for $1 million and I'm still waiting on somebody to respond. So I this is not about that. But I also am clear that I don't get to separate myself from this whole movement, because I know my organization raised $3 million when BLM received $90 million. So that's why we asked for $1 million, which is not even enough, because we was in the street in the summer of 2020, and we know that people went on their phone and said, I'm not going to look for a particular name. I'm just going to give money to BLM. So I feel they owe me money. Right? I think they have some of my money. So we asked for $1 million. But I understand that this movement, everything that happens, there are implications for all of us. If something happened with you, Envy, I've been watching you for the last few days. I talked to you. You know what I'm saying? It impacts everybody that's close to you. That's just what it is. So I just want to put that message out there. Be careful what you allow yourself to get dragged into.
How can people donate if they want to donate?
To Until Freedom?
Yes, absolutely.
Child, we need y'all to donate so bad. Lord have mercy. You can donate to Until Freedom by going to untilfreedom.com, which is the safest, best way to get us donations. But of course, if you want a Cash App and Venmo and all of that, we're Until Freedom. Spell it properly, because people have whichever is the right way to say it, our name, colonized our name, and they put one extra E, the L's or whatever, and so a lot of our donations were going to these other accounts. So Until Freedom, UNTILFREEDOM, on all platforms you can give.
And did we get everything on the notepad?
I think so. Let me see. Oh, Cop City. Wow. So Cop City, for folks quickly, is in Atlanta. Basically, Cop City is a place that is being designed to train police officers from around the country. So in DeKalb County, Andre Dickens, the mayor, is creating a city. And by the way, people want me to mention that this was not his plan. It came from Governor Kemp and Keisha Lance Bottoms, and then he had the ability to keep it going or to cancel the project. So they are building this facility. Now, this is what they're going to say. It's all first responders. There's going to be people there from, firefighters. They're going to have... There's an element that cannot be ignored, and that is the police training that will take place in the facility, and that is a problem. The Police Association, I think that's their name, excuse me if I got it wrong, they are the ones that's coordinating the whole space. And so the resources that the city council approved are to lease space for the responders and others to be trained. But the policing situation is the main focus of the facility.
Why would Keisha Lance Bottoms or Andre Dickens want it?
Well, because elected officials, they get nervous. And so when they start feeling the pressure from the governor and all these people, because a lot of our folks don't understand what true public safety looks like. We've been taught that public safety is locking people up. But the police exist now. There's police all over Chicago, and still there was 50-something people shot Memorial Weekend.
That's right.
So policing is clearly not solving the problem. So we see what needs to be done.
Yeah.
And it is intentionally being ignored, and they are fattening the pockets of the policing system and then not even giving true accountability measures to keep people accountable. You cannot train racism and white supremacy. You can't out-train it. You have to convict it. You have to lock it up, and you have to give it consequences so that people will know I could be as racist as I want at my kitchen table, but I can't take that to work.
Right.
Tamika Mallory is her name, man. Make sure y'all support our good sister Tamika Mallory.
Absolutely.
Donate to Untel Freedom. That's Untel Freedom.
Yes.
Subscribe to her podcast, Street Politicians with the good brother Myson, and pick up her book, State of Emergency.
Thank you.
right.
Thank you. You
Thank
did
you for
all
joining
this
us.
stuff.
That's right.
My brother, my son, he was just up here.
That's right.
That's right. Love
Well,
y'all.
Tamika Mallory. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get to the rumors. Claudia Jordan's here.
Hey. Just because I'm being quiet don't mean that I don't have that fire up inside of me to get you all the way together.
This is the Rumor Report.
One thing that I'm not is a liar.
They say it's truth in the rumors hooking.
And people know what happened. People know the truth.
I'll give it to you.
All right, Blueface is in the news. This guy right here, he gets on my nerves. All right, he responds to Charleston White, calling him Ike Turner. Blueface has been spending the last 2 days with his, showing his love for his baby mama, Jaden Alexis, in what people believe is solely an attempt to upset his expecting baby mother, Krishan Rock. People have been giving their opinions on the situation, and Charleston White chimed in with an interesting comparison for Blueface.
You are the modern day Ike Turner. You're abusing those girls. I wouldn't be surprised if your baby has some emotional trauma that your child is dealing with, because you do know that whatever the mother feels while she's pregnant, the children, by way of the umbilical cord, feels what the mother feels. So the shame that you bring to the mother. But I hope it's not a girl. You got your children's mother, you putting a purple dildo to your children's mother to hurt your other baby mama. See, this is why the black woman turning gay. This is why she turning to white. Man, this is why, no. You a shameful, hurtful mother by a person you got kids with. You have mommy issues. You was very disrespectful to your mommy, so I bet you beat the bitches.
What does the purple dildo have to do with anything?
That's all you heard, no?
I mean, that did stick out. That was what?
It was interesting to see that.
See what? I don't know anything about it.
Oh, so he was on vacation. He's been in Vegas with the first baby mama, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's all an attempt to upset Krishan, right? So in the video, he's playing with her dildo and he's kind of putting it really close to his mouth, pretending to sing into it. It wasn't a good look for him, so I knew anyone that had smoke for him was going to bring that up. But Charleston White giving Blueface advice on how he is with this woman is kind of funny. So Blueface, of course, responded. He tweeted, N-word went from box that bee, hit her on the head, jam her neck up, to I'm an abuser. He's now a prime example of never let social media dictate your reality or judgment in real life. I'm outside every day, that boy a mouse in the house. I'd rather be like Ike than Uncle Ruckus. I'm going to be the same N-word every day. I will never change the game. Plan for likes and approval streams for fake love. I know what's best for me. So another piece of audio came out with Charleston White kind of talking about how he would treat women.
There's a video of Charleston White saying women need their ass whooped and some of them need their took. And people went in an outrage. Man, he's advocating violence against women. And this is what I'm saying. Can somebody tell Blueface? And Krishan. Man, Krishan. I'm talking to Blueface. Say, Blueface, you run around here taking all them goddamn boxing lessons? Box that bitch, nigga. Learn how to Donkey Kong the bitch. This little gap teeth mouth for mentally f***ed up.
I'm lighting my Palo Santo. My head hurts.
Not keeping the same energy. Blueface says, is this the same guy who's saying I'm an abuser? He talking about raping bees and beating them up 2 weeks ago. What do y'all think?
I
think the vibrations in here are very low right now.
I don't even know why we report.
Is that sage?
Report on that gentleman.
Palo Santo.
It did give me a headache. It gave me a headache listening to it. It gave me a headache thinking about Charleston White giving advice to Blueface. I'm tired of Blueface. I'm tired of both of them. I'm sick of them both.
Yeah.
It's not even the blind leading the blind. It's the ratchet leading the ratchet. It's the horrible leading the horrible.
I just hate that we give somebody a platform that just talks and we keep talking about him.
The reality is, when you ask me what I think about it, I don't.
Right.
That's my point.
I don't think about it.
Look how far we've come, though. Like, these are people that have
some of that positive energy over there. Give me some.
You want some of this Palo Santo?
Give me some.
I think I need
blow it
to.
over there.
Can we put it over my stories?
Why you blowing it like that? Come over here.
Oh, that was cute. Wait, can I blow over the stories because I have more stories with more ratchetness. Okay, I know we're supposed to be half righteous, half ratchet, but it's heavy on the ratchet this morning.
Because.
Oh, that smells really good, Charlamagne.
Put it in your crotch.
What is wrong? Yo, get away from me, yo. Get away from me, yo. What's wrong with you?
Already? Put it in your crotch.
You kinky, bro. All right.
What else? Envy, by the way.
Moving.
Just in case.
You just want to be clear.
I'm talking to Claudia. I'm talking to
Once again, the one show I don't get sexually harassed. I mean, y'all don't notice me at all. Y'all just, I don't even get any like friendly fire in the way. I'm right here.
So let me just be clear. I'm talking to Envy. Want to be clear.
Never been on a show where the men make it so clear they're talking to each other. Just to be clear, I'm not flirting with the one girl here. All right. Again, this is doing wonders for my mental health and self-esteem being at the Breakfast Club. All right, Tory Lanez. Back in the news, his legal team, they're not going down without a fight, according to court documents. Tory's lawyers filed to have the judge, David Hereford, disqualified for showing favoritism to the prosecution. Now, his lawyers said that the facts they listed in the filing reveal such a high degree of favoritism or antagonism as to make fair judgment impossible. So they are trying again to come for the judge and say, it's favoritism. They're trying anything, but that's what a good lawyer is supposed to do, right?
Yeah, I think the judge just saw the evidence in that case. And I understand, what Tory's lawyers are doing because, they're trying to get his guy the least amount of time possible or, I guess the most favorable sentence possible. But I don't know what antagonizing the judge is going to do would cause you to get more of a sentence.
Has that ever worked for anyone? Let's just attack the judge.
I doubt it. I doubt it. That wasn't a small decision.
Trump, Tory Lanez attacking the judge is probably not the best way to go.
Not at all. All right.
Good luck, Tory.
That is your rumor report. Now, Charlamagne, who are you giving that donkey to?
Man, I need Susan Lawrence. Is that how you pronounce her name? I need her to come to the front of the congregation. She is the woman who murdered Ajika Owens, okay? And she needs to come to the front of the congregation. We'd like to have a word with her.
All right. And then when we come back after Donkey of the Day, let's open up the phone lines, 800-585-1051. Now, a gentleman called earlier and wanted to shoot his shot with Claudia Jordan. The shot was horrible. So we're going to open up the phone lines. If anybody wants to shoot their shot at Claudia Jordan.
Yeah, because she said it's the only show she's never been, what did you say?
Since the two men here are not even looking in my direction, I would love the listeners to call in and give me some attention because I'm feeling away.
800-585-1051.
Please.
You can shoot your shot
I'll
with Claudia.
take anything at this point.
Anything at this point. Men or women, call up. Wait. It doesn't matter. You said anything at this point.
You know
so
what?
800.
Studs, call in.
All right, 800-585-1051. Shoot your shot at Claudia Jordan.
That's
we'll
where
do
we're
it after Donkeys, the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club. Your mornings will never be the same.
DraftKings Sportsbook is an official sports betting partner of the NBA. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app today and use code ENVY for a special offer when you sign up. That's code ENVY, only at DraftKings Sportsbook.
This is a miracle.
There is no question that there are problems in this country between police and community.
Yes, you are a donkey.
The latest on that police killing of a black man.
Now to new developments in the deadly spa shooting rampage.
And yesterday was a really bad day for him, and this is what he did.
And so we are in a state of emergency.
Okay, white supremacist violence is and always has been the number one threat to our society.
But I'm also very proud that my wife is white.
The Breakfast Club, bitches.
All right, Charlamagne, please tell me, why was I your donkey of the day?
Donkey of the Day for Wednesday, June 7th goes to Susan Lorenz. She is a 58-year-old Florida woman who was charged with manslaughter with a firearm and other offenses after she fired a shot through her front door and killed a black woman, her neighbor, named Ajika Owens. Okay, personally, I believe she should be charged with cold-blooded murder, but let me get you up to speed with the story. Ajika is a 35-year-old mother of four, and if you're not familiar with this story, then let's go to Joy Ann Reid at MSNBC for the report, please.
Friday around 9 p.m., Adjika A.J. Owens, a mother of 4, was shot and killed by an unidentified woman in Ocala, Florida. According to civil rights attorney Ben Crump, who is now representing the Owens family, AJ's children, who are 3 to 12 years old, were playing in a field next to an apartment complex when a 58-year-old white woman allegedly began yelling at them to get off her land and calling them racial slurs. According to Crump's statement, the children left, but accidentally left behind an iPad, which the woman took. When one of the kids tried to retrieve it, the woman threw it, hitting the boy and cracking the screen. Ms. Owens walked across the street to speak to the woman. But Crump's office says when she knocked on the door, the neighbor allegedly shot her through the closed front door.
We know her name now. Susan Lorenz. Let me tell you something, man. People like Susan Lorenz are the reason I will never stop using the term cracker-ass cracker. Because that level of racism and bigotry needs to be properly defined, and all you GWPs out there, good white people, you have to start calling devils like Susan cracker-ass crackers too. Okay? Crackers like Susan give the GWPs, the good white people of the world, a bad rap. All right? According to the sheriff's office, evidence showed that over time, Susan had become angry over Owen's children playing in the field close to her apartment. Now, I know what you're thinking. I would think a cracker like Susan would love to see black people in the field, but the key word in that statement was they were in the field playing, not working. If they was working, especially for her, it would be a white supremacist dream. But now, when a white supremacist sees a bunch of black people having fun, experiencing joy, being happy, then it disturbs the demons that exist in them, and they have to find a way to stomp out said joy, okay? They have to, all right? Adjika didn't have any weapons. She wasn't a threat. She just wanted to know, what did you do to her child? Because this grown-ass 58-year-old woman throwing things at her 10-year-old son, hit him with it. The little boy and his 12-year-old brother, they're kids, not teenagers, 10 and 12, went to try to talk to Susan, and she opened her door and allegedly swung at them with umbrellas. So those young men went and did what any child would have done, and that's tell their mother, okay? That's when Adjika went to Susan's house, knocked on the door multiple times, and demanded that Susan come outside, and then Susan fired one shot through the door, striking Adjika in her upper chest with her 10-year-old sitting right beside her. Don't call the radio station complaining. Don't send no emails. Don't comment on social media about me using the term crack-ass cracker, because as long as crackers are crackering, I shall be using that phrase to describe this prehistoric, outdated evil that is white supremacy. There is a documented 911 history between these women. 911 was called at least 6 times over the last 2 years for various complaints between the two neighbors. And I wish one of them would have called 911 in this situation instead of taking matters into their own hands. I wish Adjika didn't go over there with her child, even though I don't blame her. Someone hits your child, your seed, your heart beating outside your body. You gotta go see what's up right now. I get it, but I wish she hadn't. And Susan, who's clearly been wishing a nigga would, couldn't wait to pop off. And I wish she had called 911 instead of taking matters into her own hands. Allegedly, Susan has harassed this family, for a long time, calling them racial slurs. This is like a dark version of Judy Blume's Iggy's House. Okay, but sadly, it's not fictional. All right, there's nothing fictional about this. A person is dead, deceased, unalived by a crack-ass cracker named Susan Lorenz. Now, a couple of days ago, we didn't know the identity of this woman. She wasn't arrested, but that has changed. Let's go to, let me cite my sources here. Let's go to, hold on one second. Let's go to Fox 35 News for the report, please.
New video this morning shows a woman in handcuffs after allegedly shooting her neighbor through her own front door. 58-year-old Susan Lorenz is charged with manslaughter with a firearm, a first-degree felony with a maximum sentence of 30 years in prison.
Randy Hildreth is live outside the Marion County Jail this morning. Randy, the sheriff has spoken exclusively with Fox 35 about the arrest and the ongoing feud between these two neighbors.
One of the things that the sheriff's office has said is that Lorenz was angry at Owens' children who were playing in a field near her home. We're told that she started yelling at them, which was overheard by a neighbor. One witness says that Lorenz used racial slurs towards the children. Deputies confirmed she threw a roller skate at the children and one was hit. And they do say that an older sibling of Owens went to the home first to talk to Lorenz, and she swung an umbrella at them. And that's when they say Owens went to the home and knocked on the door. They say Lorenz fired one shot through the closed front door and it hit Owens in her chest, with her 10-year-old standing next to her.
She needs all 30. At what point do us as humans realize we all in this together? There is no superiority over anyone because you're white. No superiority over anyone because you're a woman. No superiority over you because you're gay. I mean, it is because of the way this system is set up. But in the grand scheme of God, there is no superiority, okay? We are all in this together, whether we want to be or not. So we have no choice but to love thy neighbor as we love thyself. And if we don't love thy neighbor as we love thyself, then how come thyself simply can't leave thy neighbor the hell alone? Okay, I promise you, white people, most African Americans just want to mind our black ass business. We don't want any issues. We don't want any problems. But crack ass crackers like Susan will always find a way to impede on the peace that we have created for thyself. Once again, good white people, I need you to use your voices and call out these crack ass crackers too. And if you are white and listening to me and you're upset that I'm calling Susan a crack ass cracker, in fact, if your rhetoric sounds like this in your head, it's terrible. What happened to that woman? But does he have to call Susan a crack-ass cracker? It's so divisive and racist. No, what's divisive and racist is killing a black woman who's a mother of 4 because you hit her child and she came to your house unarmed, no weapons, and wanted to talk to you about it, so you decided to shoot her through the door. That's divisive. That's racist. Calling Susan a crack-ass cracker for doing that is descriptive. And one thing Leonard McKelvey, Charlamagne the God, is going to always do is tell the truth and shame the white devil. Please let the good white person that is Chelsea Handler give Susan Lorenz the biggest hee-haw.
Hee-haw, hee-haw. That is way too much Dan mayonnaise.
Where's the good white person named Kathy Griffin?
Please give this giant jar of mayo the biggest hee-haw.
Now, I know Chris Rock wants in on this.
Cracker-ass cracker.
What about my girl working fast food? Okay.
All right. Well, thank you for that donkey of the day.
We thank God for it all.
I had neighbors like that before, too.
Really?
We had cracker-ass crackers in our neighborhood. We got in fights. The kid hit me in the face with a skateboard. And years later, I went to a grocery store, and guess who had to bag my groceries? Said cracker-ass cracker.
Damn.
Felt great.
You should have bought a bunch of crackers. Just a whole bunch of saltines just because.
I bought a lot of heavy canned goods, so the bags were really heavy. I'm petty like that. Shout out to Jeff in East Providence, Rhode Island.
Jesus.
You follow me on Facebook, so you will hear this. And our mother was messing with a black guy after that. It was great. One of those guys that like mess with fat crack-ass cracker women to get sneakers. You know what I'm talking about? You know the type.
I know the type.
You just firing, all right? You just keep firing.
Hey, Jeff.
All right, well, shout to BT. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace, BT. Everybody else, 800-585-1051. So, somebody tweeted Charlamagne and myself and said, question, who hurt Claudia Jordan?
Damn.
I see the signs and clues you've been dropping. DJ Envy and C the Guy, we need some men to shoot this shot with Claudia before it's beige rage 2.0.
I'm not beige, first of all. I'm caramel colored. You're beige.
So let's open up the phone lines.
That is very true. And I'm going to tell you something. When Claudia writes her book, you're going to see who hurt Claudia Jordan.
Oh, yes. We had a long time together.
800-585-1051. If you want to shoot your shot with Claudia Jordan, you can this morning, all right? We're going to open up the phone lines. A gentleman did it earlier, and he failed. So we're going to give you an opportunity and a chance. 800-585-1051. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning. Be respectful, guys.
The Breakfast Club. It's time to shoot your shot. With The Breakfast Club. This is your one chance. Don't mess it up.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. We got our guest co-host Claudia Jordan here this morning.
Yes, indeed.
Here goes the pimping of my vagina.
Earlier this morning, somebody called and said he tried to shoot a shot with you.
Who was it? It was Dingo.
Dingo.
Yes, Dingo is a Breakfast Club faithful.
Yeah, faithful listener.
Yes. Young boy.
Yeah, he was 31.
31.
Yeah. He was shooting all over the place. And
see, murder attracts the young boys now. Yes. Young boys beyond see murder now.
So we open up the phone lines and we're going to let you guys shoot your shot. You know, she's in New York. She might, take one of you guys out to dinner or something like that.
And
or maybe you guys could take her out.
No, it should be the other way around.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
I'm tired of paying.
Okay.
Yes.
I've earned someone treating me, right?
And she said this is the only place she's ever been where the men have never harassed her in any way, flirted with her.
I mean, in this workplace.
Right.
They don't even make eye contact with me.
Well, me and Envy are married men.
I see.
And we're work husbands.
I don't want to interfere with
Gusbands. As just hilarious says Gusbands. Yes.
All right.
Gay husbands.
We have Matt on the line.
The real Gusbands of Atlanta would be a hit.
Of New York.
Matt.
Yes.
Now, Matt, good morning. Now, we're letting you shoot your shot, but you actually met her last night.
Yes, I did.
Okay, go ahead.
This is Matt from the Salsa Con Fuego.
Oh, the comedy club.
Yeah.
Okay, Matt. All right, Matt, follow up.
I felt the vibe last night.
Okay, Matt.
Yeah, okay.
You felt the vibe? I felt the vibe as well, but, I was working, so I wanted to be professional.
Oh,
But you're very beautiful and amazing.
Oh, okay.
I enjoyed our conversation.
I like Matt. Matt got
I'm
a
gonna be
job.
honest with you. I feel the energy
I feel
because
energy.
when Claudia came in this morning, Matt, she shouted you out. Like out of all the people she
I
met
did.
last night, she
He
did
looked
shout
out.
you out.
There were no seats available because Jeff's show was sold out.
Mhm.
He gave up his chair out front and the cashier's chair, created an area for us to sit in, and then they brought a whole table for us.
Wow, so Matt's a gentleman. He's a nice guy. He has a great job. How does Matt look?
He was a nice looking brother.
Oh, good looking
I think we should
brother.
put Matt on hold. I'm gonna be honest with you, because Matt, I don't want you to do nothing corny or say nothing corny over the air.
That's
Because
gonna
I
ruin
really
your
feel the
shot.
energy between y'all, and I'm glad that you took the initiative to call in here this morning. We're gonna put you on hold so y'all can connect after. Now,
He's the
okay?
first person I saw at the club, and I said, "Did Envy come?" He said, "No, he didn't come here yet."
Yes.
So he was like looking out for y'all last night.
Oh,
You know what else is
Hold on,
crazy?
Matt.
Think about the thousands of people that are calling right now.
He got through.
The first one
That's true.
Got through.
Claudia, don't miss your blessing
That's a
now.
sign.
Don't
That's
miss
a
your blessing,
sign.
Claudia. Don't miss your blessing.
Hello, who's this?
Matter of fact, Matt, get Matt's number, Eddie.
Good morning.
Hey, good morning. What's your name?
My name is Talik.
Talik, where you calling from?
I'm calling from Queens.
Queens. All right, Talik, go ahead. Go.
Hey,
How you doing, Miss Claudia? It's a pleasure to meet you.
you too. How old?
32.
32.
32. I'm also 6'5". I got 3 kids. I'm a single dad. And so all that out the way real quick. I understand you are Aries.
Yes.
Gemini.
Okay.
Definitely.
Is that a match?
Um,
Gemini and Aries?
Actually, it is. My daughter's an Aries too. So me and her were matched together as parent and children. So I would say Aries do well with them.
Oh, yes, it says the zodiac signs of Aries and Gemini are well suited to each other, given that there are very many traits common between the two.
I dated a Gemini once in my life.
Charlamagne.
I dated a Gemini once in my life, and he did conduct a drug deal with me in the car. He went and bought cocaine. We were in Philly, and the drug dealer got in the back seat. So that was my
Oh
one
my
experience
God.
with Geminis.
Okay, well we are wild like that in some ways.
See?
But I'm a bus driver. I can't do that. I'm a school bus driver.
He has a good
Don't
job.
start with me.
Benefits.
Do not start.
Claudia, would you date a bus driver?
Would you date a bus
If
driver?
he fine and
Would
cool,
you date a
he
bus
be good.
driver? That's
And
all
get
we
that
need
word.
to know.
Talik, close this deal. Come on.
She said she would.
Come
What's
on,
up?
Talik.
Listen, my Instagram is sovereign_ruler. All right? So if you add me, I know what it is.
Oh,
Okay.
I have to come look for you. Shouldn't you send me a
No,
picture?
I mean, I add you first, but you know what I'm saying? I'm just making sure you know.
Oh, okay.
DM her, brother. You the bus driver. You're not a passenger.
But how does that feel? Like, I got to look you up on Instagram and add me. Isn't that weird?
He's making me chase him.
Ooh.
Why guys want to be bad so bad now? Can I be a bad?
Soft boy era. We out here.
Nick.
Yo, I'm here.
Hey, Nick, where you calling from?
Hey, from the great state of Florida.
Oh, Lord. Run, Claudia, please. Run.
Oh, Lord.
It's bad enough we letting you date Matt from the Bronx.
Don't judge me. Nah, don't judge me. I'm born in Brooklyn. Yeah, moved to Florida.
All right, guys,
And
shoot
I'm,
your shot.
you know what I'm saying? Caribbean, Jamaican.
I love those
In my
Caribbean
show,
boys.
y'all was talking about young versus old the other day, and young stamina and stuff. I got stamina and intelligence.
How old
You
are
know
you?
what I'm saying? So
How old
I'm
are you?
33.
Can you do me a favor? Spell Wednesday.
So Wednesday.
Spell Wednesday.
Okay. Well, Miss Claudia, I know that Wednesday is a rough day. They call it the hump day.
Stop trying to Google.
He's Googling. Right?
Stop trying to goddamn Google. Answer the question.
That separates the boys from the men. They don't all get the WEDNESDAY.
Damn it, man.
I found this out.
And if you miss the D in Wednesday, you don't get to sling no D.
That part.
That's
I like
right.
that.
All right,
That's
800-585-1051. You can shoot your shot with Claudia.
He really tried to Google. Wednesday's hump day.
There's another day in the name called
Shut up. Stop trying to Google.
Middle of the week.
Is that sad? He can't spell Wednesday.
That's a good one. I never heard that one.
That's my thing.
Well, call up right now. Shoot your shot with Claudia Jordan. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
It's time to shoot your shot. With the Breakfast Club. This is your one chance. Don't mess it up.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Now, if you just joined us, we're letting you shoot your shot with Claudia Jordan. She's our guest co-host this morning. Dingo, who's a long-time listener to the Breakfast Club, he tried to shoot a shot and failed horribly. So we're just opening
I think
up
we
the
found
phone.
Claudia's one already. I think that this is just for entertainment purpose. I think we really did
Think so?
find. I think Matt is the one, Claudia.
He's the one, yeah.
He made an impression. You was thinking about him this morning, is what I'm saying.
Well, he was a very nice, respectable guy. And he looked out for our safety last night. I thought that was very nice.
And he said he did not want to holler at you last night because he was being professional.
That's right.
And then he was the first, out of the thousands of people that are calling all across the country, he was the first person to get through.
That is a sign.
Come on now.
That's a
I
sign.
miss your blessing.
Hello, who's this?
Yeah, hello, how you doing?
What's your name,
It's
bro?
John from Jacksonville, Florida.
What?
Jacksonville, Florida. John.
Oh, Florida. Okay.
All right, go ahead.
Yes,
Shoot your
sir.
shot, brother.
I just wanted to say, it really sounds good and feels good to be able to talk to a beautiful woman. I don't know you, but it seems like your voice is something that I really admire. So thank you. That's all I really wanted to say.
No, thank you.
All right. Well, thank you.
Y'all hit my DMs. I want to see who I'm talking to.
His headset, I wouldn't approve his headset.
You think it's on a Bluetooth?
You wouldn't approve of his head.
Set. I said his
I ain't
headset.
hear you say, right, Red, you heard, I ain't hear him say
Anybody
set,
heard me
yo.
say headset?
God damn,
Telling on
nigga. You
yourself
always
once
go
again.
too far, bro.
Hello? Who's this?
Why?
Flaming in here.
Damn, yo.
Hello?
Jesus Christ.
This is Sarah
Hey.
from Atlanta.
Hey, Sarah.
What's up, Sarah?
What are you calling for?
I was actually calling to tell Charlamagne I am a GWP
Good white
who
people.
welcomes him using that cracker term.
There you go.
Okay.
There you go.
Because my man is a beautiful black man who is 11 months sitting in a Georgia jail with no indictment because of a cracker.
Oh,
Damn.
Well, hold on. Unless you want to holler at
Claudia.
For a minute, I thought a stud was calling her for.
But Claudia,
I thought so too.
She got a man.
Yeah, she got a man.
I just want to throw that out there.
Should I open the pull up to the prison system?
Hello?
No. The prison.
I'm big in the prison system. When you're a model on Price is Right, the prisons love you. That's like their porn, actually.
Hello, who's this?
It's Lovey from the Bronx. I want to shoot my shot at C Murder.
Oh, this has potential.
Well,
Hey.
this is the gentleman that calls all the time with like the 14-inch penis.
Oh, he was in my DMs last time.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up? He didn't send me a picture of it, though, I don't think.
No, well, respectfully, I would love to send you a picture.
But go ahead, shoot your shot, Lovey.
Well, C Murder, I'm a single father. I love to cook. I'm a carpenter. I do radio.
That's all you got?
What did he say? What did he say?
I'm sorry, I'm getting a text. I'm a carpenter. I do radio. I love to please my woman. I want to identify as the Mandingo lover today.
As a what?
Mandingo lover.
Oh, so another one.
Yes.
He just wants to smash.
Yeah.
You're not serious. Like, you're
No,
not.
I don't want to smash. I'm more into the intellect, you know that?
You're into the intellect, but you led with your 14-inch.
No.
No, I don't like him for you. I think he messed up your insides.
14 inches, yeah. The cutoff is 10.
I love it.
If he got experience, he know.
Yeah.
Shut up, man.
I mean,
How fast
damn,
is it,
the way
Envy?
you said it was like, I don't want that for you. It messed up your
I don't want-
inside.
I don't want to mess
How
up
would
the
you
inside.
know,
How
Envy?
painful is it?
I don't know. Hello, who's this?
Christ.
Hello, this is Andre.
Hey, Andre.
Hey, Claudia, what's up?
How you doing? What's up with you?
You calling for Charlamagne or Claudia?
What's up, Charlamagne and DJ Envy?
Peace,
I
King.
love y'all, man. Y'all awesome.
Thank you, brother.
Who you calling for, sir?
Claudia.
Oh, okay, go ahead, bro. Okay, shoot your shot.
Here we go.
So, Claudia, I'm a ballroom dancer. I can line dance, salsa, bachata, kizomba. I want to take my dancing.
You're calling to shoot your shot at me, though?
Yes, he said he want to take you line dancing.
He said he want to take you dancing.
This is actually, at least he has something he wants you to do.
That's true. He has an activity
That's
planned.
right. That's right.
What's your longest relationship with a woman?
It's a year.
What happened? Like, why did that end?
Well, because we had to go to different colleges, so we had to separate.
How old are you, sir?
I am 38.
38. Okay.
What kind of age purpose? Okay.
If he's ever been with a man.
Have you ever
Yep,
been
so
with...
you're young.
Hey, I have to ask. I asked this of all the men. Have you ever been with a man before?
No, no, never. I don't. It's funny though. It's funny to talk about it. It's cool, but nah.
Why people mistake you for gay a lot?
No. Listen, I'm a tall, strong man, and I don't have that mistake.
You just have a really smooth voice, and the ballroom dancing thing threw me off. Like, that's really unique. You don't really hear many straight men talk about that. Are there a lot of straight men in ballroom dancing?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I would assume.
I mean, well, to my knowledge it is. I'm not sure, but I know that straight. I would love to take you out dancing, have fun with you, and
Line dancing actually sounds cool. That's something I don't hear men say, let's go do, woman.
And when I do the wobble, there's not a lot of men on the dance floor, like straight men. So I'd be open to seeing with dancing with this man.
The wobble's considered a line dance?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Yep, the wobble.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a whole thing together.
All right, well, we gonna put you on hold, bro.
Okay, thank you, man.
Hello, who's this?
How are you?
Hello?
Hi, you hear me?
Oh, we can hear you.
Here you go, Claudia. You about to get what you want now, Claudia.
WNBA games, here we come.
Well, hold on. Wait, let me do my intro. Hello, DJ ND, Charlamagne the guy. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. What's up, lady?
Hello. Hi, Claudia, my future girlfriend. What's going on?
Oh,
she put it in the
You know
atmosphere.
what? I gotta say this. She's been the most aggressive.
That's right.
Well, let me just say this. So, whoever the dude that tweeted you and Charlamagne, I don't think Claudia is heartbroken or damaged. Like, what I have to say is that she hasn't run across the correct guy that has self-respect, that knows how to make moves for himself, and that's just does that life.
Yeah, it's not a heartbroken thing for me. I think in the nature of the business I'm in, I attract a lot of narcissists or users, and people assume that I wouldn't date like a regular guy. But my last relationship was, well, when I did couples retreat, you saw blue collar guys, totally nice military, real estate guy. Like, I'm not one of those people that just has to be with a celebrity or I'm not into all that stuff. I'm into good people and good souls.
Well, let me just say this, Claudia. Even with like regular guys, that's living the regular life, they still ain't nothing. I've dated like plenty of regular guys, and the number one thing that I always sit there and ask them about themselves. So, like, what is it that you're trying to do for yourself? And they be looking at me like a deer in the headlight.
So, Jessica, you trying to take Claudia out or not?
Of course. Well, what you like? What you like, Claudia? What's your favorite food?
Okay.
Fish.
No, hers is fish.
Wow.
I'm Jamaican.
You like Jamaican?
I love Jamaican brown stew chicken.
Oh, brown stew chicken. And do you like extra gravy on the rice and peas?
Extra gravy on the brown stew chicken and the rice. And I always say I'll marry the person that can make me a peach cobbler. I love peach cobbler.
Oh, peach cobbler. Okay. And where would you like the peach cobbler to be eaten off at?
A plate?
Jesus Christ.
What kind of plate?
This is
porcelain.
Yo, women really the new niggas, yo?
Yo, she go hard.
Ain't no guy call up here with this type of energy this morning.
What you want to eat it off?
She got me feeling mad right now. Like, I feel like a little punk. Like, I'm like getting small.
That's what she's trying to feel too, Claudia.
That's right. But that's what you hold on. I don't know. I think you're calling this Matt. I think you give Matt a try.
Matt is your blessing.
Matt's number one. Jessica number two.
Jessica was the most masculine.
She was definitely.
She came with the most masculine energy.
She definitely did.
She has a smooth line.
Matt, did y'all get Matt number? All right, we got Matt number. Matt, we putting you on, Matt.
All right.
It's up to Claudia, though. It's the ball's in her court now.
All right, so we'll see. Claudia, hopefully one of those individuals will be fine for you.
Matt,
you like Matt?
I like Matt. I think Matt is destined.
Okay.
She saw Matt last night. Matt was nice to you.
That's right. He has a great job.
He was the first person that called in this morning.
That's right.
The DMs, you guys, thank you very much. There's a lot of them. There's women, there's men, there's a little bit of everything in there. Thank you so much for pimping my vagina this morning.
All right.
That's what I feel like.
Well, let's get to the rumors. Well, let's play the intro.
Just because I'm being quiet don't mean that I don't have that fire up inside of me to get you all the way together.
This is the Rumor Report.
One thing that I'm not is a liar.
They say it's truth in the rumors looking.
And people know what happened. People know the truth.
I'll give it to you.
All right, guys. Yesterday, little TJ went live while filming a short clip for a music video, but people checked in and didn't get the behind-the-scenes footage that they expected. Now, while TJ was live, he was approached by the police, and this is what happened.
Do not cuff me, bro. Do not touch me, bro. Nah, bro. Don't touch me, bro. What am I on the arrest for? Do not touch me, bro. Yeah, cool. Behind the pole. Don't touch me. You fake it. How you gonna tell me you gonna cuff me and stop? You know you can't cuff me. Don't touch me.
Turn around.
No, bro. I don't know. What's in the car? I don't know what's in the car. Don't touch me.
TJ, don't fight, T. Don't fight, T. T, don't fight, T.
You bigger than that.
Don't fight,
You
T.
bigger than that. Don't do that.
TJ, it's not real.
It don't make no sense. You got all these young kids out here looking at you.
Yo, set an example,
T.
T.
What you gonna do?
Set an example, T. Set an example, T.
Take care of what you gotta take care of.
Now, the video starts with TJ recording, but then he ends up getting into a little scuffle with the police, and his phone's dropped. Someone else in the area picked up his phone and proceeded to record his arrest. You hear the people in the background telling him not to resist arrest. It was later revealed that he was arrested for reckless endangerment. Not quite sure, what they believe who was in danger. He was shot 7 times in 2022 during a robbery in New Jersey, and MVU was talking. The police kind of been on his neck ever since then because they know he's going to protect himself.
Yeah, I've seen a couple times he was in the city. They pulled him over and pulled his car over and searched his car. I don't know what happened in this instance. I don't know what reckless endangerment means as far as what they said that they pulled him over for. But in the video, it just looked like he was just recording. It didn't look like he was bothering anybody or hurting anybody. It looked like he was just on live, which seems strange.
Who are his OGs, man? Like, I know you can't tell these young boys nothing, but at what point does little TJ say to himself, like, God has given me a lot of chances, and maybe I need to, start moving a lot better than I have been.
But in this case, it looked like he had security with him in the video. It looks like he was just recording. So I don't know what he did that was so wrong that made them arrest him, because he wasn't doing anything. It's not like he was yelling or screaming. He was just out filming himself on live. So,
he was arrested.
I don't know what happened before or after, though.
And I guess the resisting part, too. It's just like, yo, be cool. Like, as everybody around him in that moment was saying.
But it's easy to say, but if you really do nothing, and he was doing nothing, because he was just videotaping himself, and somebody tries to arrest you or you're not going to just be cool. You're not going to
I don't know the whole situation.
That's what I'm saying. We don't know. But from what I seen, it's, he was on video. Like I said, I don't know what happened beforehand, but nobody's just going to be cool if they feel like they did nothing.
If everybody around him is telling him to be cool, maybe you should be cool.
That's true. It's like a tricky, it's a tough line to walk, because they're doing it in front of people, and you're young, you got all this aggression, and you don't want to be embarrassed, right? Everybody wants to get embarrassed on live, on camera, so you kind of act a little bit tougher. The police love that, because then they can hit you with that resisting charge.
Right.
And don't you already have a reputation?
Yeah.
Because you've been stopped previously before?
Yeah.
Right.
All right. Moving on.
Let's do that when we come back.
Oh, okay.
We'll do Chris Rock when we come back.
A good story about Chris Rock later on. We'll get to that.
All right. Well, the People's Choice Mix is up next. We'll do the Chris Rock story, so don't move. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club. Your mornings will never be the same.
With audio titles on business, career advice, fitness, and more, Audible keeps you inspired. Whatever you're looking for, check out all the audiobooks, podcasts, and originals you could ever want, all in one place. Sign up for 30 days free at audible.com/Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Of course, Claudia Jordan is here. She's our guest host. Now, Claudia, we were teasing a Chris Rock story. What happened with Chris Rock?
So he caught a man filming him on his fire escape. How scary is that? We were talking about stalkers earlier. So law enforcement sources notified TMZ that Chris Rock called the police Sunday night to report a peeping Tom at his New York home. Reports say the man came right up to his window on his fire escape. Scary stuff. Of course, the man was long gone by the time the police arrived. Witnesses say he jumped straight off the fire escape and hopped into a white Benz. The man had a camera, but it was unclear to Chris Rock whether it was if he was recording a video or taking pictures.
That's scary as hell.
Yeah, but that sounds like that's somebody that was, maybe Chris Rock would have been in there with somebody and they were trying to get filmed to sell to somebody, like footage.
Or
maybe,
private eye.
Yeah, private eye or something like that. That's what that seems like. You know what I mean?
Have y'all ever had people roll up to your house? Like stalkers or people just invasive fans?
I've had before, but now with the dog, I don't think anybody would do that. And if they did, God bless them.
I had a guy that was obsessed. He thought that he was King Tut and I was Cleopatra in another life. So he was convinced that we belonged together through blood. It's some weird ritual thing he had. Anyways, he stalked me, came to my house, took the screen windows off my house, and was looking at me in the kitchen. Thank God I allowed company over that day. We were cooking.
Jesus.
He ended up doing 3 years in prison. They let him out early. He violated and came after me again, and he served the rest of his time until he passed away in prison.
Claudia Jordan.
The book's gonna be lit.
To be on, first of all, she needs to do a book, but she needs to be on somebody's TV show doing Charlie Murphy-like stories. Claudia Jordan.
They call me Soldier Boy sometimes because they say it sounds fake, but I swear they're all true. Like, I'm not lying. I had a lot of stuff happen.
Claudia Jordan stories are crazy.
If you live long enough, you're gonna have stories.
That is very true.
You know what I mean?
Very true.
My goodness. All right.
Shout out to him.
When we come back, we got the positive note. Don't move. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Now, we appreciate you for joining us, Claudia.
I had a good time with you guys.
Thank you so much. What are you up to now this week?
Back to Dallas. I'm doing renovations.
Okay. All right.
I'll see y'all next time.
All right. Well, Charlamagne, you got a positive note?
I do, man. Once again, thank you, Symantha, for pulling up this week.
Always.
I'm sure we'll see you again shortly.
Yeah.
And plug the podcast and the Fox Soul stuff.
Make sure you check me out Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on Fox Soul. Cocktails with Queens on Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays, TGIF. Thursdays, the Undressed Room podcast with my girl L'Oreal. Check out the movie Dear Frank on Tubi and a few others. So go to my Instagram page and I'll drop all of that. I've been real busy lately.
All right. Now, Charlamagne, you got a positive note?
And the positive note is this: you can't achieve anything entirely by yourself. There's a support system that is a basic requirement of human existence. To be happy and successful on Earth, you just have to have people that you rely on.
Breakfast Club, bitches!
Y'all finished or y'all done?